Elon Musk claims another milestone in Model 3 production rate, but is it good enough? Is it good enough to meet his own goal that he set for his company of 2,500 units per week? Or is he going to have a lot of explaining to do at the Q1 report media Q&A session? We're going to talk about that. Also, this video came out on the heels of this whole Autopilot crash here in Mountain View. This video came out from the guy in Chicago who says he was able to kind of reproduce what happened. We're gonna talk about it as well. And today, not one, not two, but three comments of the day. It literally took me, guys, like 3 hours last night to go through all of the comments. I mean, I know some of these videos were kind of controversial and a lot of discussion topics, but so thank you for that. I definitely enjoyed. The only thing I was able to squeeze into my evening was watching the Silicon Valley on HBO. By the way, Model S heavily featured, as a matter of fact, kind of a part of the story. So if you haven't caught up on that, definitely check it out. So we're going to talk about it all right now. All right, by the way, if this is your first time watching the show and this channel, please join our community by clicking the subscribe button so you don't miss anything moving forward. All right, let's talk about the, man, there's never enough, there's never a shortage of interesting stuff to talk about with Tesla. As a matter of fact, most of our news today is about Tesla. So anyway, Elon Musk sent out an email, I think like a few minutes after midnight, and it got leaked. I mean, it was sent to entire staff, so it got leaked. I believe this is a Daily Beast reporter. So she kind of put it up on Twitter, and the email basically congratulated the staff on working very hard and trying to meet the goal. But here's basically the main quote from Elon Musk from that email, and it says, "It has been extremely difficult to pass the 2,000 cars per week rate for Model 3, but we are finally here. If things go as planned today, we will comfortably exceed that number over a 7-day period." Okay, so obviously good news that they are over 2,000 units per week milestone, which is much closer to 2,500. It looks like he's also claiming that in the next few days, maybe about a week, they'll be able to get pretty close to it. So it's pretty good news, and we'll see what he says about this during the media Q&A. It just feels like this email was written by the Jaguar marketing department. First of all, I'm not really sure what does he mean by "we're finally here." Here would have been 2,500 units per week, and don't get me wrong, 2,000 is still pretty impressive. And as he points out later in his email, that they were able to achieve this in 9 months, where it took like 5 years to achieve it from Model S and Model X, which is true, and this is definitely a great achievement. But he made it sound like that was the final goal, and it's not. Also, he's also kind of talking about the next week, but is he trying to meet the goal next week, or is he trying to actually solidify that 2,000 units per week? Is he trying to get to an entire week of doing 2,000 units? Because I'm assuming this rate was calculated by how many cars were made on March 31st, the very last day. Yeah, I mean, he's got to stop this. He really's got to stop this. Let's see what happens at the Q1 quarterly report media session. But I'm definitely interested to know what you guys think. I mean, again, I don't want to take away from good news. Listen, definitely a big milestone. Good for Tesla. They're really moving forward with this. And I've always said that, and I still stand by this, that the Model 3 is going to be what is going to basically put the entire electric car movement on a map by the end of this year. And I think I'm still going to be right. But nevertheless, all right, let's just move on. I'm sure there will be a lot of comments. I wish this was live, right? Because I would love to hear what you guys have to say, but we got to move on. Before that, of course, I want to mention that this channel and this video is sponsored by Evanix, the aftermarket accessories. And if you guys are shopping there, please check out the discount code that's in the description of this video so you can save a few bucks. This was specifically generated for our community here for E4 Electric. All right, so let's move on to another story that was part of a bad week, as you probably noticed. I've been talking about the entire week, and it's true, but this accident happened here in Mountain View, and there's a video that surfaced up, and by the way, so Tesla confirmed that the autopilot was on, and then by the way, NTSB got really upset that Tesla did that. I have no idea why NTSB is upset about it. It's a company that's supposed to wants to be accountable, responsible for what they do, relatively transparent, and so I'm not really sure why NTSB wants to kind of prevent Tesla from releasing statements like this. How is that? It's not like it's a criminal investigation where you can tamper with witnesses and stuff like that. Everything is done. You guys do your job. Not really sure why they are all butthurt about it. But anyway, so here's a video, and I'm going to link to it from the description of this video. And this is a guy in Chicago who basically drove this distance similar. It's a similar situation as he's claiming. As you can see, he's driving through a regular highway, and then you'll notice that the left the left part of the lane, the border of the lane, will kind of start disappearing, as you can see, and the new lane that's supposed to divide to start the divider will be very blurry. And see right here, it kind of starts, and the car starts going into the divider, and he kind of has to interject and stop right before it. Yeah, not good, definitely. But first thing, let me mention, this is different. First of all, it's different in many ways from the Mountain View crash, because the lane that was kind of blurry here on the highway was pretty clear there in Mountain View, still is. So as a matter of fact, you could still see that marking through all the foam of the fire department, well, you can see it right there. So this is different. Also, this crash was during the day. This video was taped during the night. I would like to see what would have happened there if he did it during the day. But it is a problem that, obviously people will use this there and probably have before. And, you got to pay attention. And that's, you only have, what, 3 or 4 seconds to react. And a lot of people, maybe get on their phones and, start messing around with their screen. And I know they're not kind of supposed to, but then what good is the autopilot? And I mean, this is kind of brings me to one of the comments of the day, which I kind of agree with. So let me just kind of display it here. And it's Mickle Dude. It says, perhaps that is true, but autopilot that is not totally full autopilot without observer being needed is just a complete fail. So, I've been saying this for a while, because and this is why I've been saying that I regret now having the autopilot on my car and paying for it and having it, just simply because when I got it, it was all about being able to do that, being able to kind of drive and let the car, lead the way, and maybe you can catch up on your email or whatever, and you pay attention sort of, but you kind of do trust the beast. But then they kind of said, well, you have to keep your hands on your wheel at all times, and that alone already kind of made it not worth it to me. But at the same time, well, because stuff like this happens, right, still. And I understand why Tesla wants this, and but it kind of renders the entire autopilot completely useless, because when you see this footage, you say, oh my god, if I don't pay attention for 3 or 4 seconds, which I normally should be anyway, then I can run into the concrete wall. So therefore, what good is the autopilot then if basically does nothing except for maybe helping my muscles in my hands relax. So anyway, so this is just my personal opinion. I agree with the guy with the poster there, and I hope Tesla looks into this, because we don't want any more of people dying, definitely, but even getting into this accidents. Granted, the marking is really bad, and even a person who's just kind of driving at night, maybe a little bit tired, maybe a little bit sleepy, can mistake this as well for the left marking of the lane, rather than, holy crap, this is actually making you hit a divider in another few seconds. So this is also road maintenance issue. But I really hope Tesla looks into this. This is a problem. I really hope this kind of gets resolved soon, because we don't want any more of these. All right, so let me move on. I just wanted to make sure we watch this video. And by the way, if you're enjoying this video and this channel, please give this video a thumbs up. Always helps this do well in on YouTube. as you probably all seen this video, April Fool Day, Elon Musk participated as well, kind of leaning against what it was, I think it was a Model S with a cardboard box, that well, cardboard piece of box from the Tesla charger, misspelled bankrupt sign, making fun of all the predictions that Tesla, not all, one, right? A prediction that Tesla is going belly up in the next few months. Kind of ballsy, I have to say. He didn't have the best week. As a matter of fact, a lot of people, including myself, believe it's one of the worst weeks in Tesla's history. But nevertheless, maybe it's also giving everyone's confidence, saying, hey, listen, he's brushing it all off, saying, listen, not a big deal. We're going to make fun of it and move forward. So let's go. But again, I want to see what he says at the Q1 report media question and answer in a statement. I really hope he puts his CEO hat on and does a really good job. By the way, as you probably noticed, I'm not streaming live for a few days now. Maybe it could be a couple of weeks. I do have an kind of detailed explanation of whatever it is that I even know. Just like I said, it's a bizarre story on my Patreon page, and therefore thank you guys, kind of as a thank you note for those who are supporting the show. If you're looking to support the show, please check out the Patreon link in the description of this video. I really do appreciate it. And by the way, here's also a quick schedule for the upcoming Saturday interviews, which I've been enjoying greatly. A bit of a controversial one this last Saturday. Rich Rebuilds is going to be here in a couple of weeks. Then we have a Cali road trip with my Tesla adventure, so we're going to do that instead of the interview. I was planning on streaming live. I don't know if that's going to happen live or not. And then Zach and Jesse on 28th. Actually, I just almost confirmed that Bollinger, someone from Bollinger is going to be here to talk about their off-road electric vehicle that's really picking up some steam, and I really like what they're doing. So that's next Saturday. Again, not 100% sure because I just saw an email in my inbox, but it looks like it's going to happen. Okay, so let me get to the second comment of the day. And again, I love this portion. So this one comes from one of the regular, Alexis, and she's talking about, Roger Atkins, who was a guest on the show yesterday, made some controversial statements, which I don't mind at all. I kind of partially agreed with him, but a lot of discussions on that in a comment section of this video. But she says, and I'm starting to really agree with this, she says, Elon is a great engineer and he has lots of unbelievable revolutionary ideas. He won't be easily replaced for that. Also, he should not be replaced for that. CEO of car manufacturer is just not the right role for him. And she kind of goes on with this idea, which I kind of really like. Maybe they can do something like Google has done, where they put kind of an umbrella company, Alphabet, have Elon be the CEO of that. And that company would kind of oversee, Solar City, Tesla, SpaceX, Boring Company, everything. I mean, obviously, there's going to be kind of a legal hurdle, and they will have to merge and stuff like that. But even if this is not the particular scenario that they go with, I really do like the idea of just Elon being sort of out of this CEO spotlight in the job, because he had made some statements and mistakes. I think we all know that, and kind of get back into his role of engineering, which he admits that he loves doing that. He does that most of the time, from what I understand. It gives him more time to innovate and be Elon Musk and be the front of the company, but put some corporate CEO who does his CEO thing, especially for Tesla, and maybe takes care of all of this Wall Street stuff and expectations and goal setting and stuff like that. So I mean, I know a lot of you agreed, a lot of you disagreed, a lot of you had other ideas. I thought this was one of the most interesting ones. So thank you, Alexis, once again about that. And let me move on to another comment of the day, and this one, let me get the right one. Okay, I guess hers was second. Okay, so this was the original one. Okay, Frank is talking about the recall. He says, states like Michigan that will not allow Tesla service centers showrooms are putting their residents at risk by making it more difficult to get service for recalls. And I can agree with him more. Can believe I haven't thought about it myself, but you're right. The states that don't allow service centers, and I'm not sure if Michigan specifically doesn't allow service centers, definitely are putting people in, you know, danger of not being able to go and get their recall taken care of, and therefore putting their cars back on the road and, you know, safe environment. Michigan is one of those areas. It's a cold weather, and that's what Tesla was kind of warning against. Again, I'm not quite sure if their service centers are not allowed, but I'm assuming also if you're not allowing presence in the state, then there is no reason for a company to build service centers, or at least in larger amounts. So whether or not it's officially allowed or it's kind of a product of not allowing showrooms and sales, I hope this is a good argument next time they go in court and prove their case. So another great comment of the day. I really appreciate it, guys. More news to come this week. Definitely all eyes are still on a Model 3 production and a Q1 report, and of course Elon's appearance and media question and answer. So that's that. I'll be back tomorrow, of course, with my daily video. That's not changing, as I mentioned before, around 11 a.m. still, give or take. So I will see you tomorrow. Other than that, remember to stay charged.